So if God made us and he cares for us, where is he? Where is he in all the chaos of this life? You know, when friends or family get sick or die, or when job security goes out the window. Some people think God's very far off indeed, that he's up there somewhere watching on from a distance, that perhaps he's self-isolating in some big palace, you know, locked up, safe and sound, far away from all the problems down here. Comedian Eddie Izzard once made the point that if God really existed, then he should have showed himself back in 1969 when the Americans beat the Russians to the moon. Eddie said, "That was a time, if there is a God in the universe, he should have come down and said, 'You're the first ones to make it from the blue one to the grey one. Well done.'" The idea that God is disinterested or distant could be a real stumbling block for faith. After all, if he is the creator, the source of life, why does he remain out of reach? Doesn't he care? In the Bible, the good news is that God has come down, not in 1969, but in 0 AD. The Gospel of John says these words, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." In the person of Jesus of Nazareth, God has drawn near. God himself has turned up, and he's entered into our broken world full of suffering, pain, and death. And he's done that to bring us a gift, to give us eternal life. Not as a reward for being religious, not even as a reward for being kind, but it's his kind gift, his rescue for those of us walking in the shadow of death. Where do we see what God is like? We see that most clearly at the cross. Through Jesus' death and resurrection, we see God defeating death and bringing life. We see God overcoming the darkness of sin and bringing about the light of life. Now, you might not be very excited about the prospect of spending eternity bouncing around on some white fluffy cloud. That might offer you no hope whatsoever. Actually, I agree. Jesus is offering us something much more real and much more tangible. A new life which is tied to his real resurrection. Because Jesus got through the grave, he can get us through it too. And that changes everything. It brings real hope in the face of fear. Real hope that God is with us in this life and the life to come. But you might be thinking, is any of this even real? Is there any evidence? Well, check out our last video to find out.